What's up, guys? I want to introduce you to our sponsor, Carnivore. They're a beef protein isolate that changed the game as an alternative to whey and plant-based proteins. So if you gotta have some lactose, some gut issues, this is definitely the protein you guys want to use. They also have some slamming RTDs. Roger's drinking one right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely, guys. For me, it's taste. I've been drinking RTDs for 20 years. Been going to the gym 20 years. Tried everything under the sun. Carnivore is where it's at. This is the chocolate. I love chocolate. 0 grams of fat, 0 grams of sugar, 0 lactose, 0 gluten. If you have any lactose issues at all, this is where it's at. You want to try Carnivore today. Guys, don't forget 40 grams of protein in this. If you're looking for a clean, great tasting protein, give Carnivore a try today.
Real show, here we go. Real show, here we go. You know that it's gotta be that time, so this is what we chant. What keeps on getting them all amped in advance? Come on. You and I rocking out with Iron Man, FE. You get the general's point of view on top of Roger's rants. Whenever tapping out, we're putting the most minutes in. You already know what that's about, you know that winners win. Crush whatever's on task, check the podcast. It's the champ and the tramp, let the bomb blast.
All right. Roger.
Franklin.
Roger.
Sound of Freedom.
Saw it, huh?
Bro, you told me, you and Renee texted me last night, you should go watch Sound of Freedom. Well, that was yesterday during the day.
Yeah.
So I get home, I'm eating, and I'm like, maybe I'll go, you know? Look at the times, I'm eating, it's like 6:05, and it says 6:10 is the next movie. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to make that. And I looked, and it was the next one was at like 9:45. I was like, all right, I guess I'll go at the 9:45. So I hit up Bulldog. He went with me. We watched it.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I totally did no research on it at all. I didn't watch a review. So I thought it was going to be like documentary style. It totally wasn't at all. It was like, obviously,
a movie.
Yeah, it was like a movie. Yeah, but I mean, I thought it would be, I don't know. I thought it would be more like blurred out faces and like actual people that, you know, were like on the inside.
The guy's a real actor, though.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, it wasn't. I thought it would be more like the Chris Hansen style, you know, like.
What's Chris Hansen? I don't know that.
Chris Hansen's the dude that busts all the pedos and you know, coming to.
Yeah, that's like real people. These are actors,
right? So I thought it would be like, you know,
like imagine having to play the fucking pedophile in a movie. I don't know if I take that role.
No, that would be tough.
I'm like, yeah, I'm good, dude. I'm like, fuck it, I don't think I want this one.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I thought it was well put together. You know, that was filmed in 2018.
Yeah, I heard a lot of
5
people
years.
been staying away from it and did not want to touch that movie,
which
which is kind of crazy to me.
20th Century Fox, I think, originally owned it, and then Disney bought it from them. Disney
did nothing with it, right?
Disney wouldn't release it, and then it went to some independent film, and they finally released it. But yeah, it cost like $14 million to make, and it sat on the shelf for 5 years.
And it's like killing it too.
Yeah, as of yesterday, it made $85 million.
I went. I mean, how long has it been out now? A week or two?
I'm guessing, yeah, roughly.
Right. I mean, dude, my movie. I mean, it was raining yesterday, but the movie was sold out.
Yeah,
sold out.
I went at
2 days ago.
I went at 9:30. The guy spins. You know how if you go to the late movie, you don't go to the box office part. You go to like the popcorn part. If you go to the late ones. He spins the thing around. He's like, all right, pick what seat you want. There was like 6 seats left.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take those 2.
We sat in the front, dude.
Did you?
I was like, bro, come on. Yeah, like 10 minutes in, you kind of.
Bro, honestly, and again, I did no research. I knew what it was, the premise, right? I knew.
You probably do good research too.
Shut up, you fucking idiot. I didn't know. I didn't watch any trailers or anything like that, but. You know, within the first few scenes with the father dropping the kid.
How crazy is that?
Oh, I was like, I felt weird watching it. I felt like cringy. You know what I mean?
But I talked to someone from Colombia, and they said, I'm like, how? He's like, listen, some people they think that's their only way out of poverty, and you know, to give their kids something.
Why would they do that?
Yeah. Like, why would they let their kid just leave them? You know?
Oh, the movie. I mean, obviously he's acting, but he wasn't he. Thinking he was dropping his kids off at a photo shoot.
Yeah, but so what? Oh, right. I'll see you at 7:30.
Well, see
you later.
He tried to come in and check it out, and she was like, "No,
all right, but I'm standing outside the door."
No,
first off, my kid's not going in.
I am not leaving my kid anywhere, even here.
Agreed.
In a safe country.
Agreed. Say. Okay, at least stay there.
Right.
You know?
Well,
Jeez.
yeah.
Yeah, that was nuts.
But it's
Well,
often poverty-stricken countries that I think deal with this the most. And
yeah.
and
That's what I was saying. Like,
even here, there's I think like 350,000 kids a year go missing. I think they estimate something like 100,000 of them are suspected to get trafficked. Of that number,
that's crazy to me.
and I'm sure
Isn't it, though?
vast majority. I would
Make it back.
I would make a bet that they come from very poor communities.
All right. Okay.
'Cause they're
That's
easily
something to
taken
think.
advantage
Do
of.
you know? Okay, you lived in Maine. Now you lived in Jersey. You're 50 years old. Been on the planet for quite a while, right? Almost 50.
Do I know anyone?
Anybody that's been kidnapped? Me neither. Right? That's kind of wild. But so
You did have a story. Excuse me, I'm a little. I got like a frog in my throat. If you can,
a frog, is that what you call it?
like phlegm or whatever you want to call it.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
That's what you call it?
There you go. There was a story in your neighborhood, not of anybody getting kidnapped, but there was somebody taking a picture of a dude, remember, in an SUV. It was in this neighborhood, saying that he was talking to kids, trying to lure them into.
Again, yeah.
And it
I
was
know.
circulating around the area.
Renee actually told me a story. She lived with her grandmother back in the day, and her mom had to pay a neighbor to take them to school because the mom worked. So the lady pulls up. She comes up, whatever, normal time. She came like 20 minutes early. And Renee's like, tells her grandma, I'm not going out yet. I'm not done with my cereal yet. So she waited, ate her cereal, goes out, goes to open the door, and then the real car pulls up behind. It's the same exact car, pretty much.
No way.
So then they the car just took off.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of wild, though.
That is wild. Yeah, I don't. But again, I think the children that get targeted the most, I think, come from not very well-to-do areas
or well-to-do families, or they see if the father's kind of absentee.
Right. Easily targeted.
Right. The father's a cuck.
Yeah. Maybe not. They don't show up high on the radar of being missed. You know what I mean? Which is sad to say, but I mean it's
Tim Kennedy, he posted something about the movie, and he was saying, 'cause that's what he does. This is what Tim Kennedy kind of does, fights these traffickers and stuff. He said that that was so mild, that movie.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy, because I mean they didn't show anything crazy, but I mean like just what they were like referencing or like what the intentions were, and they're like, that's so disgusting. And like the little boy, they said he had I forgot what they said, like, but cuts on him that were indicative, lacerations that were indicative of sexual abuse.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, they had to. It was rated PG-13. They had to.
I know, but if they did that, I couldn't have seen it. I almost was like, I don't know if I can see this.
Exactly.
I almost was like, and then they kept it. They kept it obviously watchable, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But how about when? Which I got a little confused for a second, but then I don't know if you picked up on it. We'll see. Remember Carne? Whatever, spoiler alert, but you remember Carne? You know Carne? The one they met on the island. They're like, this is Carne.
With the tattoo?
He's the attorney. He's the attorney,
oh,
supposedly.
Yeah.
And then they take him away. Yeah. Remember when the raid happened? They took him away?
Yes, that's right.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, wow, is that guy in on it? Like, is that guy getting him out of there? But then if you noticed, when they had the other guy in jail, they showed him, like, you want to end up like Carne? And they showed pictures of it. So they tortured and killed Carne.
Oh.
See, that's what they did.
Wait, when they were walking him away, he was not in cuffs, right?
I know, they walking away, but
they beat the shit out of him?
I think they beat the shit out of him and killed him. Yeah.
Why? He was the worst of the worst?
Yeah. Remember he was trying to take the little boy? Yeah.
That was loosely based, I think, on the life of Tim Ballard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, Tim Ballard, though, you see is that guy, do we see him places for some, like when they put him on the screen, I'm like, dude, that dude looks mad familiar. No?
Are you asking me if I've seen him in there?
Yeah, he looks familiar. But he has like 8 kids, dude.
Yeah, I know. And he spent a lot of his time away, it's crazy. Every time he came home.
Well, not that much away.
Every time he was home, I guess he was getting it in. Like, oh shit, another one. Let me go save some kids somewhere else. No, I mean, I think what it brought attention to was great. What was Ian Smith was posting about it? What was his
I
point?
know.
on
I don't
it?
know. Like
His
something
point
about
was
who-
like, it's great you're bringing
No.
attention to this, but
Right.
who's the guy? Who's the Mexican guy that supposedly funded it?
Slim, I think they call him or
Yeah.
something. But and supposedly he is, part of the problem,
Right,
possibly.
right,
He's
right.
At least he's trying to say. I don't know though.
Well,
He's just trying to say, like, be careful who's behind. And then I'm seeing some other people like, yeah, this is gonna be. They're gonna want to try to. This is the way they're gonna try to put chips in our kids. You don't want your kid to get taken? Put a chip in them.
No way. Just be involved in your kid's life, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are times where, like, if they're in the school system, that you have to have faith, I guess, that they're safe. But be involved in your kid's life and don't put a chip in your kid. But yeah. Well, what was your take on it? What did you think of it overall?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of knew. I don't know if I knew it was like this crazy like that.
Just
But
kind of
we've been
seemed to
hearing
me
it lately,
like
though.
almost like a superhero, like not a superhero, action movie. Almost like he was they made him into like a Rambo type guy. You know what I mean? And I thought, I guess to keep the audience attention, maybe they needed to do that. And
Well, what did you want him
to build it?
To get beat up?
No, but I didn't know that they. I think they
He
could
didn't shoot or
focused
kill
a
him.
little bit more on the.
You got what, the one guy, the one.
Oh, he had a big fist fight
Scorpion
with
guy.
a drunk guy
Yeah,
that was
the
hammered
Scorpion,
and beating the crap out of him. And I don't know. I just thought maybe he didn't have to make.
But
make
I
him
mean,
look like he was an
how-
action
you
hero.
don't think there was any struggles in this process?
Well, I read a little bit about it. They said that the little boy in real life had a sister, but he didn't go after the sister. There was another little girl that he went after that wasn't actually that boy's sister. So it's kind of all those that they say based on a true story. They're all pretty loosely
that's
based.
every movie.
Every movie,
Yeah. Rocky's based on a true story.
Yeah. Well, they're all very loosely based, But I thought what it brought attention to, obviously, in the world we live in today, but ask yourself, why did they try to not let it be released?
Yeah, that's crazy. And why is Rolling Stones like talking shit about it?
Yeah. I mean, if
Like
it's,
a lot of
if it's
a lot of
profitable,
journalism.
right? That's the
Idea of movies,
idea
right?
of movies, and that's the idea of what production companies want, and right. So if it's profitable, what is their issue with it? It's rated PG-13. It's not even an R-rated movie. What is that noise? What is that? Maybe it's
the water.
Maybe
No,
it's
it's the water. The water's refilling.
Yeah. Anyhow, so yeah, I guess I was a little uncomfortable watching it just because there were some scenes that are just, as a parent, are cringy. You know what I mean? But what it brought attention to, I think, is a good thing. Now, what comes of it? Does everybody forget about it tomorrow and forget that trafficking is a major issue? What do we do? Because
what can you do? I mean, I guess.
Well, it said the proceeds of this movie are kind of equally distributed throughout a whole bunch of charities.
Stopped.
It stopped.
Yeah. Well, did you stay to the end for the end?
I didn't watch everything. Brian left his phone in there, and he went back in. He's like, "Holy shit! There's like a whole ending to it." I stayed for a little bit. When I thought it was over, I left to beat the crowd because it was packed. And he went back in to grab his phone. And I was like, "Oh, we missed a bunch." They were like talking about.
That I missed it also.
They were talking about actually like actual numbers of
but
kids that go
I
missing.
think what you can do and how you could buy tickets. You could buy tickets for other people to see it.
Oh, okay.
That's how. And more, I know someone that bought like 75 tickets.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But I mean, in the movie, obviously, but I'm sure it translate probably.
You see,
some of those numbers translate over to real life. The kids were abducted from Honduras, right?
Yeah.
And then they were put on a cargo ship
to Colombia.
and sent to Colombia.
Yeah.
And I guess,
And did you see Miss Cartagena? She was like part of the people helping to trick the kids and shit.
Right.
That's just, and she's a real person. They showed pictures of her. They showed the real her.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's like so. Like, dude, what are these people? Like, how could you do that?
Yeah.
How could you
especially
do that?
as a woman.
As
Men are kind of
evil. Like
yeah.
men are definitely more inclined to being evil, I guess. But like a woman, like how the you birth kid? You could birth a kid. Like how could you do that?
So she's in prison now.
I would think so.
And where do they go to prison? Colombia.
I have no idea.
I mean, they didn't commit any crimes against American children, so they wouldn't be extradited here. They would be in Colombia, right?
I don't know.
Or Honduras, where the kids were taken from. I don't know, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Well,
Hopefully, they're in a god awful
maybe
prison.
in your research, you could find all this out.
Yeah, it was an awkward movie to watch, but I it's good that we're bringing attention to this now. The fact that took 5 years to come out, the fact that no buddy involved in Epstein Island was ever named, does this fast track anything to start happening? Do people start going to prison here?
Well, first of all, it's definitely getting into the mainstream more, right?
Mm-hmm.
This movie's doing crazy numbers, right? Although like Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a bad review, Rolling Stones is giving it a bad review, trying to call it QAnon, like conspiracy theories, which is kind of trash because this was, like you said, this was made 4 years before QAnon ever was even around, right?
5 years.
5 years. Well, no, 5 years, 5 from now, but like QAnon, when did QAnon come around? 2020. You know what I mean? So anyway, and then you see Mark Wahlberg. He came out and was like, "Yo, we're fucking coming. We're coming after these pedophiles and this and that." And he's like, and he sounds like Jesse. He's like, you're gonna see some disturbing stuff in the news about people. So now are they gonna come after him?
Listen, well, I don't know.
Because dude, he's as A-list as it gets.
A-list
right?
as it gets.
That's about as A-list as it gets.
And I like listen. We can all have our favorite actors. Like I like the dude. I think he's great as an actor. He's like I think he's he's just kind of like my kind of guy as an actor, but. Who knows? You don't know what any of these people do,
Well, I'm saying that is the first person to pretty much speak out, besides Mel Gibson and Jim Caviezel. Caviezel? Right? Is that it?
Yeah, he was the actor, right? That played
Tim Ballard.
Tim Ballard,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, I hope that justice starts happening, even if it's vigilante.
Well, what's crazy is like we said, there's no. We don't know anybody's been kidnapped. How many people are Americans getting trafficked and this and that? No, maybe not. But Americans are buying this shit. The Americans are the fucking perverts.
I think
right?
It's mostly Americans because
right?
obviously there's wealthier, right?
Yeah,
probably flying over to these countries.
I think they even bring them here though too, like through probably the border. I'm sure the border they're bringing trafficking kids through our border as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're saying that a tremendous amount of those kids are already raped before they even come across the border.
Yeah, but then they still,
right.
Like you've seen that, like you could only sell someone once. You could sell that person 10 times.
Yeah, I mean that's a special kind of evil. I don't understand that. You're a special kind of shitbag if you can do something like that.
This is my thing. This is what I think we need to do, which will never happen. But this the only way you could stop this from happening or curtail it a little bit is find these people, find someone, and literally torture them on every social media channel in the world live. Torture them.
Unfortunately, that's been.
I mean, that's not gonna happen. But that's what you do.
Publicly.
Publicly you do it, and then these pedophiles be like, oh, you know what, man, I'm not into it no more.
It's still allowed in some foreign countries. We could ship them over to where they do stoning and stuff. Still,
That's not enough, bro. I'm talking about like some vile shit. You gotta like make these people not want to do that stuff.
No, I agree. Unfortunately, that's not a very reasonable solution because
that is the solution.
That is the solution. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
There needs to be a new hierarchy established because what is happening now is not working. The laws and the justice system that is in place right now is corrupt, right? Corrupt in many ways.
Well, I mean, depending who you are, where you are, right?
Well, the DOJ, we know, doesn't prosecute some people. And if we think that Hollywood harbors the greatest concentration of kid touchers, which is often talked about, not really proven yet, are they protecting them as well? They certainly did when it came to Epstein Island.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause that. That drives me nuts. And someone's turning some water on and off in my house. Can we pause this?
Yeah,
I'm gonna find it.
Go yell at them.
Yeah, I am.
Go yell.
It can't be something good.
Probably the hose or something outside. All right, guys, pay attention. You'll hear Frankie yelling upstairs. Pay attention. Ready? Everybody quiet. What was it?
Guess who it was?
Tina.
Of course.
What was he doing?
Oh, beer?
Yeah, what was he doing?
He was turning on the hose.
Outside?
Beer? Yeah. Summer shandy. Summer shandy. Go to Atlantic City tonight, or tomorrow.
For
Teams wrestling.
wrestling?
3 days in a row. Oh.
Do you think that we have a DOJ that you trust?
A DOJ, a Department of Justice. No, I don't think so anymore. No, I don't think I trust anything, to be honest with you. But that's what you mean? Is that what you mean? Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's like, well, it's because
when you say you don't trust anything, I mean, like you don't trust the town you live. You don't trust the people that are elected in the town we live in. Like you don't trust where does
I don't know.
Is there no end to it?
I don't know.
Right.
I trust.
Did you ever?
Probably. I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about it. To be honest with you,
I'm kind of the same.
Like I probably don't. I trust probably 5 fucking people at this point in my life.
Same way.
You know?
I'm the same way. I know a million people, just like you. We both know a million people. I think we're well liked, but I have a million acquaintances. I've got about 5 people, dudes, that I would trust in a room, locked in a room with my girl and my money. Okay. There's about 5 dudes out there.
When you said 5 dudes locked in a room, you said 5 dudes locked in a room. I'm like, what is this guy getting at? What is he getting at?
Jeez. More gay humor. That's great.
How's it gay? I'm just saying.
5 dudes locked in a room. You want to go?
And then you said your wife, your girl. I mean,
never said wife.
Girl.
But yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I used to sort of argue my side and be like, I've never been Democrat, Republican. I think that's kind of stupid, but conservative. I used to sort of argue my side and be like, no, there are people out there that are doing the right thing for the conservative side, and they're patriots, and they are. They're all corrupt. All of them. They work hand. They just
each side
preach, and they sound good, and they give speaking points because the other side said, you say this.
Does it matter, right?
It'll sound really good. It'll sound like you're doing something, and we're making some progress to keep that side happy, but we're going to have the same end goal.
Okay, right? So people say, let's not try to get too political, whatever, we're talking. Yeah. People say Trump is the end of that, right? Trump is the end all of that, right? Because he's not part of the establishment. He's not he's no family members linked to him throughout the, you know what I mean? How they try to say the presidents are all related and all this. And Trump's the
never
he's nothing
owned any
like
slaves,
right?
Or
all this. But Trump became president for 4 years, right? Did all these great things that he says and people say, try to co-sign. But less than a year later of him out of office, the country got flipped upside down, right? So then Trump's gonna come back in 2 years, right, and be number 47, right, and do all these great things, but he only has 4 years now, right? Then what's gonna stop the next bozo from coming in and just flipping the country back on its head again, right?
Strong men. Tear it the fuck down. Tear it all down.
But that's
Tim Kennedy.
And I know, but like you said it. I said
tear it down.
Who's me and you? We ain't gonna do that shit.
I'm not gonna lead it, but
that's what I'm
I'll
saying.
get in line.
Who's gonna lead it?
Tim Kennedy. I'll get in line.
I don't know. I mean,
Ian Smiths, Tim Kennedys, people like that. I don't trust any politicians that I thought I liked. I don't even know if I like anymore. I don't know if they're just part of the status quo that say talking points, because nothing ever happens. No. Nothing's ever done.
No one gets held
accountable. No one gets held accountable. And when there's congressional hearings, they're just, I cannot speak to that. I cannot speak to that. At this time, it's an ongoing investigation. We're unable to speak to that. nothing ever gets resolved.
No.
Tear it the fuck down.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, of course. Hypothetically.
I know, but like it's just, you know what comes with all that, right?
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. Like there's like that's what I'm saying. Like,
So-
do
so-
any of us like say they go that route, right? Somebody, whoever, someone leaves, goes that route. Now you realize like there's gonna be so much bad before we get back to the good again, right?
Yeah.
You'd have to imagine that's how it would go.
So how it's probably going to work for guys like you and me that are strong men, probably not natural born leaders in that sense, right? I mean, you are in the fighting sense, but not fighting against tyranny,
Wars.
tyranny, right? That it's going to probably have to get worse. Before
yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like
probably it's acceptable right now.
And nobody.
It's
That's
acceptable.
not yet. I mean, it's not. It's not. It's really not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I guess that's what's gonna have to happen.
Is there anything about your government you trust?
Nothing.
Zero.
No.
Zero. And do the people you know and the
But
people,
like think about it. Like George Carlin's been talking like this forever,
Yes.
forever.
And I always thought when I heard him back in the day, I was like, oh God, that guy's a leftist nut.
leftist.
No, he was kind of a libertarian. I would
Yeah,
say,
yeah, right.
And he
right.
was, and he was very anti-establishment, very anti-government.
Yeah.
And, you watch it now and you're like, holy shit, this guy was
ahead of his time.
40 years ahead of his time. Yeah.
I seen. There's actually a documentary on him, and it's HBO documentary. So they paint it like as if he is a lefty.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
That's how they do it.
Yeah.
That's how they indoctrinate
Yeah.
just societies.
Well, that's like how they're rewriting books, bro.
With media, with repetition of, like Rogan said, who was on it? Oh, Howie was on the show, and he's like, you ever see the
Mandel, right?
Yeah, Howie, Mandel. You ever see? He said,
Don't
to him,
shake nobody's hands.
Yeah, he's a germphobe, but he said to him, have you ever seen the news clips? If you sync them together, and he put it up, and it's like,
Who said this? Howie?
Rogan said it. Rogan, I don't think discovered it. He just brought it to Howie's
when Howie
attention.
had no
I was like,
idea.
no, I never seen it. I'd seen it before, but
I
it's,
have too,
it's
yeah.
mind blowing when you watch it.
Yeah.
It's literally 30
Well, it's
different
even-
channels, local, national,
And they're
level,
all spewing the
and
same
they're
talking
all
points.
saying the same thing in sequence. It's crazy.
It is.
But, power corrupts, right? I think we started out as a very integral nation. When you say that, I mean, I think our forefathers had the best, hopes, and I think they drafted the best documents they could draft at the time to protect us. Unfortunately, it hasn't, and now we're in deep, deep trouble.
But like I was talking with Chris, he's like, maybe just democracy doesn't work. I said, bro, no, democracy does work. It worked. It's just as long as you let it work. They're actually taking our rights away. That's why it's not working.
Right.
Right?
Correct. So Chris is arguing that socialism does work?
No. He's just trying to say that are we at the end of like is our civilization on its out? Right? We're one of the greatest. We've been around for 250 years now, and
Well, with that concept, you'd have to accept that a small percentage of the very, very extremely small percent of the population rules and holds all the wealth and holds all the power, and people are comfortable with that. I wouldn't be comfortable with that, would you?
who? Wait, what? What are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying.
If we're no longer a democracy.
Who says we're not a democracy, though?
I'm saying we are right now, but if we become something other than a
Right,
democracy,
It's
that
like-
means that the nation's people, us, have to be very comfortable with a very small percentage
Yeah.
of our leaders.
Isn't that communism almost or
That's
socialism?
not leaders.
Right?
That's totalitarianism. Yeah. That's and the reason America, of all the countries in the world, is supposed to have the ability to not stand for that ever again is because of the Second Amendment, and that's I think the only thing that,
to a degree. I mean, we have the Second Amendment, but people aren't willing to use it to fight for their rights. Then
go back
what's
to
the
what
point of it?
I go back
Right?
to what I said. Things haven't got bad enough yet.
Yeah.
Things are not bad enough. They're not bad enough for me. That's for sure. I'm not. I have two young children.
Well, that's my thing. Like too. Like I'm at the point. I mean, no matter what, because we're not. We didn't set ourselves up to fight for a war with having young kids and families and this and that. So like, my thing is, I'm probably wouldn't fight nobody until it comes to my door.
I agree, and I think a tremendous.
I think let's see how How close to this? Do you think we're even close to it? I don't think we're even close to it.
I think we're the closest we've ever been since 1776. I think right now we're the closest we've ever been since it happened once.
I can see what you're saying. I can see.
Can you think of a time we've been closer?
I mean, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know because we weren't alive. Definitely not since we were alive.
We're reading history books are changing.
I know.
Now,
I don't like.
When we were kids, they were still accurate, right?
Were they? We don't know. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. We never know. We never know anything we were told.
Okay,
listen. You just said it. Nobody gets held accountable. This and that. Da, 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 da. What if this is how it's always been? We were never paying attention. Now we're paying attention. So now, but listen, this has always been this way. So like in the 60s, they're writing these stories that aren't true, or in the 40s, or in the early 1900s. They're telling us shit that's really not true, or happened a different way. Maybe the result happens, but it didn't come about that way.
Because society had some integrity then.
I don't
you
know.
live in a society with no integrity.
But we think it does. How do we know? How do we know? We don't.
Can you think of a time where it was worse than it is now? You're saying we don't know because we didn't live back then, but my father did, and he tells me stories of how men treated women and open doors, and you were proud to serve your country and go overseas.
Men treated women, but men also were allowed to smack women then too.
I don't think they were allowed to.
What?
I think it was probably more.
Well, I always talk about the Sean Connery. Yeah, she should lose her little smack. Come on.
I mean, it was
in movies.
It's still a crime, I believe.
No, I don't think so, bro. In movies, they smacked women all the time in movies back in the day.
So are you just playing devil's advocate, or are you arguing that we live in a better time now?
It depends on this perspective, I guess, on what's better and what's not better.
You think women today, in your opinion, this is an opinion poll, obviously. Everybody's going to have a different. In your opinion, do you think women today are happier than they were, let's say, in the 50s and 60s?
I mean,
it's your opinion. They have a podcast.
I know, but it's hard to say with happiness. I don't know. That's hard to say. I only know a couple women. They're not that happy.
I think you're overthinking it, but
no, I get what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Are women happier?
I think they were happier than.
I don't know, bro. You're gonna tell you go to a woman in the 60s that wanted to burn her bra and do all this, and she couldn't. She'd probably be happier than we're in his time, right? But say there was
couldn't. They did it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean they were looked down upon and this and that. Now it's like shit.
Well, no, men agreed with him. Men. If men had all the power and women didn't manhandle the men and say, "We're fucking day." Men had to say, "You know what? You're right. You do deserve that." That's.
Eventually, yeah. Well, some men had to agree with it, right? Yeah. To get to allow them to vote and everything too, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So it was essentially men that gave them this power. So I'm saying
the men gave them the power. Hear that, ladies?
Oh,
you got to thank Roger. You got to thank Roger for all the power you have.
In agreement, they were in uniformity that they agreed. We are equal. So my question to you was, do you think women today, generally speaking,
60s to
are
now,
more comfortable with equal everything than they were in the 60s? Obviously, the feminists out there are going to say, well, it's still not equal, but I think the gender pay gap has been dispelled.
They definitely have more. They're more equal today than they were in the 60s, for sure.
No question. I'm saying happier was my question.
Happier. I don't know. That I don't know. Because, I think people don't know what makes them happy until they're in it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I want like the women wanted to be equal rights, this and that. Now shit, they're working right alongside us. They're like, shit, this working stuff sucks. I'd rather be home. You know what I mean? Yeah. They could have that experience, right?
I suppose. I'm just basing it off like my grandmother and my other grandmother and elderly women. They seem so much happier. But that's just my personal.
They were your grandma. They were nice to you. No. And all these other women aren't nice to you because they're not your grandmother.
Oh, it's so hard to have a fucking conversation with you.
No, what? Because you don't agree. I'm not. I don't know if I'm agreeing with you. I can see what you're saying.
I wasn't asking you to agree. I said
I know,
personal opinion.
I know, so I'm telling you.
I was asking you for yours.
No, I know.
You're saying I'm not answering because I don't know. I didn't live back then.
No,
I didn't live back then either.
I just gave you different
but
scenarios.
I had a grandmother that did.
I
had another grandmother that did. They seemed extremely happy.
I know, but I'm saying, But I could have told they wanted to be equal, this and that, and then they become equal. Like, maybe this ain't that great. So yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. I'm kind of.
Well, I think the pendulum, right, can swing, to where it should, and it can swing past the point of where it should. And I think in many cases, it has swung past the point. The feminist movement has maybe gone a little extreme, in the time we live in now. Not that they don't deserve, obviously the right to vote and equal rights and all they do, but if you open a door now for a woman, sometimes they're like, why would you open the door for me?
I don't know. I've never encountered that.
Neither have I, but I've seen videos of it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know. I'd you know what I'd do? I'd push her out the door and close the door in her face. Like, fuck it, all right, you got it.
You wouldn't actually, but
no, I'd want to.
All right, let's change. Let's flip scripts here because it's hard to get you nailed down on anything. You're so middle of the road. You called.
Listen, women have it better now. Okay, you happy? It depends. Are they with Roger or without Roger? If they're with Roger, no, much better back then.
I think it's a personal opinion, and I'm just curious.
No, I know, but I really can't. I mean, it's tough for me to say who's happier. You know what I mean? It's kind of a hard thing. What I think, yes, I said I think it's perspective. Some women think they would be happier, but they're not, and then some women might be. Who knows?
I know, but that's okay.
I know it's really not that good, right?
that's yeah. Anyway, so you called me the other day. It's nice when Frankie calls you because he never returns texts and he don't like to talk to many people. So if Frankie calls you, I usually pick up the phone because he don't like a lot of people. So he calls me and he's like, hey, I got a story for you. I just left class. I was out at Ricardo's and I'm on I-95. And he's like, I'm looking at my rear view and I see a cop car coming up behind me and the car's flying. So he's like, I'm like, oh, I better get out of the way, So I pull over. I get out of the way, but I guess I didn't get out of the way fast enough. I'll let you take the story over, but from the way you explained it, I think you didn't get out of the way fast enough. The guy flipped you off. You flipped him off. The passenger was flipping you off. Go ahead. Take the story from there because it's a great story.
Yeah.
Now, I'm on the phone with him as this is happening, so go ahead.
So
you thought it was a cop.
I thought it was a cop. Look, it was definitely a cop car. It was a cop car at one point, right? It's coming up hot. And people are in front of me. It's not like, I would never get over if this wasn't a cop car, you know what I'm saying? So I see the cop, I'm like, all right, I'm about to get over, and then didn't even wait, just boom, comes around me. So I'm like, I didn't say anything. I put my hands up, like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? And then the passenger puts their hand the other way. I'm still thinking it's a cop. So I'm like, fuck you. I put my fucking fuck you. You know what I mean? Who the fuck do you think you're the asshole? I'm not, And then as I'm pulling up, I see this guy, the passenger side, pull the window down.
To a light. You're at a light?
No, this is on 95. I'm just like catching up to him, on the right side now. And he puts the window down and he starts hanging his arms out. And I see he has like a tank top. So I'm like, all right, this ain't a cop, So now you can see he's about to talk shit to me. And he starts talking shit and he sees who it is.
I'm on the phone with him.
He sees who it is.
Frankie's telling me. Now Frankie's narrating it. I got that exact story, but I'm on the phone and I'm like, he's like, I'm catching up to him. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
No,
I'm like getting ready to pull.
I called you right after because I seen him and he's fucking.
You didn't call me after because I heard the guy yelling at you.
Well, that was I know, but he was following me. Just let me tell you.
Right.
So I'm pulling up and then he sees me and his face changed, and I'm like, now what, motherfucker? Now what? Now what? And he's like, bro, he puts his hands up. Can I take a picture? I'm like, suck my dick, and I just kept going. Right?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm listening. He said,
no.
I love the podcast.
No, listen. I kept going. That's when I got on the phone with you. I kept going. I was like, all right.
Okay.
And then he's giving me this. I give him like the peace sign, like peace, Yeah. And they follow me off the exit. So now I'm getting off the exit. So I'm going. And that's when I called you. I was like, I'm either going to fight this guy or I'm going to take a picture with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm at the light. I stop at the light and he pulls up like almost like, on the double line, a girl's driving. He's like, bro, please, gotta take a picture. I'm sorry, I'm a confrontational motherfucker. I'm so sorry. I'm like, bro, get out the car. Let's go. We take a picture.
No, you got out of the car because I heard you go. Just take it right now, bro. Just take it now.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I wasn't getting out the car. I said, get out. I said, you get out. Let's go. I made him get out and took a picture real quick.
That's funny.
He's like, I love the podcast.
Yeah, that's great. That's the second road rage incident that I know you've been in with a fucking fan.
I don't have road rage.
All right. The other guy had road rage? You were going to fight them both?
Nah, neither of them. They're just, saying
This guy,
their
I
piece.
told this story before, so I won't tell the whole thing. But a guy went to my gym, and he wore a Frankie Edgar shirt every fucking day. He was the biggest, talked my ear off every day about Frankie. Well, he comes in one day, and he drove a mail truck, and like a big truck, like a box truck, and he comes in, his head's down, and he's like, "Oh man," he's like, "I met Frankie the other day." He's like, we were, he was trying to explain it. He was like, well, it was a little bit of a misunderstanding. We were merging, and I thought I was in front. He thought he was in front, and, I flipped him off, and he pulled up next to me and said, yo, I'll beat your fucking ass, motherfucker. And that's, bro, it's becoming a trend with you. You're a little angry.
No, I'm not angry at all. These dudes all think they're at fault. They were both at fault. Okay? They both gave you the finger first. Okay? That they both said that. They both admitted that, right?
Who threatened to beat the other one up first?
I didn't threaten nobody. No, I just like, what? Like, now what? Like, okay, now you got what you wanted. We're next to each other. Be the tough guy. You know what I mean?
Would it matter to you, and answer honestly, don't fucking be a tough guy, even though you are, if the guy was 6'6" and jacked, would it matter to you?
No.
Wouldn't care.
No, I mean, like, no, probably not. I'm a retard like that. No. Yeah.
That's cool. That's good.
I'm not going to run my... Like, no, because, like, again, I'm not doing it because I think I'm tougher than the guy. I'm doing it because they're wrong. That's all. They're wrong. You're fucking wrong. You know what I mean? You cut me off. That's all. And I'm the type of guy like this.
Well, it also helps that you're confident that you can handle yourself.
Well, yeah, but yes. But
happens.
like, if someone cuts me off bad, where I'm like, "Arr!" And they're like, well, my bad, bro. Yeah. I'll be like, cool, all right. You know what I mean? Shit happens. I understand everybody makes mistakes. Right. But if you're going to do something wrong and then flip me off, that gets on my nerve.
I hear you. Yeah, so I thought that was a funny story. Thought you guys might enjoy that. And if you're the motherfucker that cut him off, send us the picture and we'll post it with the story.
Yeah.
DM it to Champ of the Tram. We'll throw it in the story. We'll throw it on the YouTube channel. And why you got a cop car?
Yeah, but honestly, when the guy came out, like there was like no like console, no like radio. It was a legit cop car.
Yeah. Max has got one. My buddy Max.
Yeah. They're pretty dope, bro. Everyone gets out your damn way.
I told you we were out one time we were at a local spot drinking. We left there at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I just wanted to go home, bro. I got no wind left in me anymore. I'm an old man. By midnight, 1 o'clock, I want to be home sleeping. He wanted to keep going, and the girl wanted to keep going, and they're like, what's open? And he's like, oh, the strip club up in Keyport. What is it? Fantasies. It's like, we could go to the strip
Centerfolds?
No, Fantasies. I was like, dude, I'm not, no. What is it called? Yeah, Fantasies. I was like, I'm not going there. He's like, no, jump in the back. Like, I'll drive. And we're in the cop car. Bro, I got a video. We're doing 140 miles an hour on the fucking parkway. Stupid. I should have said fucking slow down, but I didn't. Music is blaring and everybody's just getting out of our way. The cars are just pulling on the median left and right because they think it's a cop car.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's what I need. So I need a helicopter copper.
Chopper 4.
Chopper 4. I got a story. I got a funny story about a friend of ours. I'm not gonna say his name, but most people will know who it is. He was in the gym first off, he's in the gym 2 weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, he was in the sauna, right? And there's a kid in there, younger kid, and then I guess he reached over him and got maybe bumped into him a little bit and got a little swing. The guy was like, oh, and Kurt's like, oh, my bad. I said his name, but anyway, he said he didn't care. He said, my bad. And the guy was like, making a big stink of him. And Kurt's like, dude, what do you want me to do, bro? We're in a sauna. Like, relax. And the guy was like, oh, and trying to act like a tough guy. So whatever, that happens. 2 weeks later, he's in the sauna again. That kid's in there with two buddies. One of his buddies hocks a loogie and spits on the floor. And Kurt's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, man? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? And he's like, no one else is saying nothing.
Yeah,
and he said, the guy's like, yeah, what are you going to do? Kurt goes, spit again, motherfucker. Spit again, I'll show you what the fuck I'm going to do. So obviously the kid didn't spit again. And then he's like, and he goes to his boy. He's like, bro, you're bitching at me for swiping some sweat on you, and you got this guy hocking loogies. That's not disgusting. And the guy's like, yeah, that's pretty disgusting,
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, what was that? And Kurt's like, well, I'm the only guy in here that grew up with manners. No one else cares to spit. And then an old guy walked in. Was walking at the same time. He's like, you don't care that you're stepping on his spit right now? And the old guy's like, oh, come on, man, come on. And then I guess they're
Dude,
talking.
how many people are in this gym fucking sauna, bro?
There's a bunch of people in there. He's like, so then he said, then they're talking this and that, and he thought his one buddy was like, he's like, you fight him, you're gonna have to fight me. And Kurt's like, wow, I'll fight both of you. Let's go. The guy's like, well, what the hell are you talking about? And he realized that that's not what the kid said. He kind of felt a little bad. Then he's like, the gang's gonna be outside. Kurt's like, you're gonna need the fucking gang. So Kurt finishes on, and he said he was in there. He's like, bro, no one cared about that. And then there's a guy that stepped in. He's like, I'm just an old guy, man. I'm too old, you know. And Kurt said he went outside. Casey went outside and seen them. He's like, come on, let's go, motherfuckers, let's fucking go. They both were like, peace, bro. I'm out of here. They wanted no problem. I said, dude, you do that with 10 people. 9.5 of them ain't doing shit, bro.
9.5 are not doing nothing.
9.5 of them ain't doing nothing.
Nope.
Right?
Not, especially in today's world.
Yeah.
Probably 10 of them ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
We live in a bunch of fucking pussies.
Dude, for real.
Bunch of pussies today, bro.
But what would you do if someone spit in the sauna when you're in there?
I would absolutely say something.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't just punch him in the head, but I would be like,
Like,
oh, you're fucking gross. Wipe it up. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a little foul.
Definitely. I have not been in a fight in a while, bro. I mean, I told you, the latest one was that one where me and the girl were on the Harley, and that guy wanted to fight me at an intersection. I dropped the bike, and I was like, fucking pull over. I was ready. I wanted to fight. Like, that was a time I wanted to fight, like, bad, and it never happened because his wife was driving. They just took off after that. But he wanted to fight at first. I dropped the bike, and by the time but that was fucking 2 summers ago. I have not been in a fight in a while.
I haven't been close to a fight in a long, long time.
Yeah, that was it.
I don't want to get there.
No, I don't either. I wanted it so bad.
Like I do, but
then because I didn't do nothing. This guy jumped out, ripped his shirt off. I did something. I did nothing. I passed him like in a passing zone. His wife was doing like 45. It was like a 55. You know what I mean? So I know I didn't do shit. Passed him safely. I wasn't like revving the motor or nothing. And he just lost his shit at an intersection. I think he was just trying to be a tough guy or something. I don't know.
You go out too, still a little bit, every once in a while.
I don't really get tested, man. I really don't. I mean, I'm chill. I never.
Yeah, but I mean, like.
Never.
Again, not that, I mean, I'm in your crowd too. So, but your crowd that you hang in, ain't nobody really fighting no more, right? You know what I mean? And there's no clubs anymore. Yeah. Are there clubs? Do you still go to DJs and shit? You do sometimes, right?
No, I went once this summer for a half an hour.
Okay. I'm saying, could there a fight happen there?
Dude, it's like, all 21.
Dude, they're all filled with piss and vinegar.
No, they're not.
No,
I'd feel bad fighting them.
No, bro, it can't all be like that.
They're not. I don't.
Dude, when we were 21 years old and we were out there, it was I
mean, you'll know when you see the occasional like athlete. You'll know. You see the occasional like that dude's probably a wrestler. You know what I mean? You know. And those guys aren't dying to fight. They're just looking for girls and it's the fucking dorks that get beer muscles and with 8 of their friends that talk shit and stand behind 8 of their friends. I have not had. But I keep a low profile. I don't look for problems. I don't want problems. I don't want to get in a fight. I don't want the legal bullshit. I don't care about the fighting. That doesn't bother me. I don't want the legal bullshit. I don't want to have to deal with the cops. I don't want to have to get an attorney. I don't want any of that shit. You know what I mean? So, but.
Well, you know what? You eat some of this carnivore.
Yeah, baby.
You'll be all right.
Get swole.
Get swole.
I decided that I wanted to do the peptides and lose some weight and drop some weight, which I have. Everybody's like, well, what happened? You don't lift? You don't go to the gym anymore? Still go. I took some time off. I burned my foot pretty bad and took like almost 4 weeks off from the gym.
You think you needed 4 weeks for that?
No. No, I think I used it as an excuse. I definitely think I needed a week or two.
A week or two.
My foot was, I could barely walk on it for a while. No, I didn't need 4 weeks.
Yeah, I'm just trying to motivate you, buddy.
Yeah. No, you're trying to say that I was fucking slacking, which I was.
Okay, well, pull in your card, buddy.
I didn't need your help with that. I was doing all right on my own there. I was admitting to it. But anyway, definitely gonna be back on the way up soon, and carnivore is gonna help me with that journey for sure. So
yeah, no, hell yeah. Clinically proven to build mass and strength.
Boom.
So you need both of those.
Fat burning protein.
I use some mass.
Yep.
I'm good on the strength.
I finally watched Chimp. I call it Chimp Nation. Chimp Empire.
Nation. That's like sounds like a song. Like the.
Let me rephrase that because you're gonna test me. I'm almost all the way through the last episode.
God.
Episode 4. So I watched 3/4.
No, but it's pretty much
7/8.
Not much.
I watched
It's
7/8
not
of it.
Much different.
Very interesting.
Almost
Crazy.
does not look real. No.
That's insane how human like they are. It really is.
I mean, it almost does like how they're not. They don't care about the cameras. That's what kill. That's what's the craziest thing.
Yeah. You actually kind of explained that to me before I watched it, because they don't explain it during the filming of it.
They don't. They didn't.
No, no. But they started filming, I think, in '93. They started filming that group, which you know that group, the Central and the Western. That was all one group at one point, and they split up. 8 males separated themselves.
Yeah, but still, that's still the big group. I forget which one it was. Central. That's still like 100 strong.
Yep.
That's crazy. Most groups, I think, are only
It's the biggest
30 usually
ever. What's it called? The what's the name of the group? The region?
Ngano.
Ngano?
Ngano.
Yeah.
No, Ngano. That's Francis.
It's kind of like that.
It is though, right?
Yeah. Where is in Uganda, right?
I don't know, bro.
Nagogo.
It's all right. Ngano, Nagogo. Come on.
The Nagogo region, but it's in Uganda, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Can you imagine though how much? I mean, the people. There's no habitable. Habitable. Like living there at all. So those people that are out there in the jungle
Are living
probably
in tents.
living in tents for months. That's crazy.
I think they do 2-week cycles. I think I heard them saying.
Was that what it is?
I can't remember exactly, but yeah, they maybe 1 month. I forget exactly what it was. They have like they do different tours. I guess.
But those chimps are some of them are huge, and they can be aggressive, but never aggressive towards a human. That says a lot about their intelligence.
Yeah. Well, was I saying that? I was probably saying, but like a dog doesn't know we're not dogs, right? A dog just thinks we're the alpha dog, but a chimp knows we're not a chimp.
Right.
So I guess they know. But like, it's crazy. Like, why wouldn't they just be like, yo, we look, I mean, we walk like them. We got eyes like them. You know what I mean? Less hair, obviously.
Is well, not for me. I'm right there with them. But there's a, not to get off this, I want to talk more about this, but there's a great documentary that you got to watch on Netflix called Cave of Bones.
You sure you have the right name?
No,
because
I'm not.
Chimp Nation, Cave of Bones. It's probably like hole of skeletons. You know what I'm saying?
Probably. Unknown Cave of Bones. That's the name of it.
Unknown Cave of Bones.
Yep.
What were you looking? You were looking for. What were you looking for in that cave? You're looking for the bones in that cave.
But it's in South Africa, and they found a new species of the Homo species.
Homo sapiens or no?
Homo nagali. I think they named them.
Are they smaller, bigger?
Much smaller, but intelligent.
But it doesn't.
Small brains.
It dates us back even further, right, or something like that.
Like 335,000.
But these were our relatives or no?
No, completely
like
different
like Neanderthal.
species. Not Neanderthal. They were very intelligent.
I know.
Well, not very. I shouldn't say
Neanderthal were
very
intelligent too, though.
Well, yes.
They say
Neanderthal
we have
were not a Homo species, though.
No, they Neanderthal. Right. But we have Neanderthal in us.
Yeah. But I think we date back what, like 100,000 years?
Oh, I don't know.
They date back like 335,000 years. This Homo nagali, and the reason they believe that they're intelligent is they buried their dead, and that takes intelligence to think. Like, you have to think there's like some sort of afterlife, and they buried them. They think with
or I don't want animals to come fucking find us.
Well, that would still take some sort of intelligence, but they buried them in a cave where it was this section of this cave, like so remote, so dark. You had to go into like this. There's like 3 chambers basically. I forget the name of them, but you access it. This first chamber is pretty accessible, right? It's a little tight to get in there, but it's pretty accessible. And then you have to climb up this steep wall and then go down, and they call it the chute. And it's like 7.5 centimeters. You have to be a small human, which they were. But today's day and age, the people that are going in there, the paleontologists and anthropologists that are going down there, are relatively small because only small people can get down the chute.
I can get a job?
But back, yeah, you're retired. But back then, these Homo nagali people were small people. They had longer arms, but they had hands more similar to ours than chimps. Anyway, they would go down this chute in complete darkness. You have to remember.
But how are our hands different than chimps?
Chimps are knuckle walkers. They walk on their knuckles, so their hands are elongated.
Okay.
And their fingers are longer for climbing.
So their hands are like more like shorter. You're saying
Shorter,
Okay.
yeah. Long arms, more hands like humans, but long arms, right? So, and short. I think they said they were around 5'6" or something like that. But they found a child or a young Homo negali that was buried, and it looks like they buried them with a tool in their hand, and they're like, this says so much. 335 years ago, why would they bury you with a tool? They must have thought there was something. It's almost like the beginnings of religion. Like, you think there's something after. Why would you bury someone with a tool unless you think they'll need it in like an afterlife? You know what I mean? So it kind of like, it's just, I won't tell you everything, but super interesting.
You just like saying the word homo.
I guess they mined this cave, back in like the 70s or something. They were, I think they said they were taking like limestone out of it or something, but they didn't find this section of the cave down the chute, this tight little chute area, which opens up into a big, like this cavernous, huge ceiling kind of, it's got a name, I can't think of the name of it, but where they found more bones in there than they found of any other Homo species ever. Homo sapiens, there's a bunch of the Homo species.
Homo erectus.
Homo erectus. That's your favorite bone.
The Homo florians. Those are like the Hobbit people.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that. But anyway, watch it. Watch it tonight. It's great. It's
I
great.
probably won't watch it tonight, but I will catch it.
Yeah, it's great. Very interesting. Knowledge is power. And I can't read, so I have to watch movies, documentaries.
Knowledge is power. All right, Raj.
Yeah. Want to wrap it, pal?
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. You need to start doing that. You got 3 kids.
I'm done.
That's
I
it?
don't think I can have it no more.
You said you wanted a girl and you'd be done.
I had a girl.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Donezo.
All right, guys. Don't forget to check out Carnivore Protein.
Definitely lactose free. Good for your tummy.
Mm-hmm.
Make you big and strong.
Boom.
Guys, please don't forget to find and follow us on YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and most other podcast platforms.
Champ and the Tramp.